Today is Monday, December 20th, 2021. We're here in Cleveland, Ohio in the Tremont neighborhood. And today we're going to be looking at the Christmas Story house. It's noon right now and I just purchased my ticket and they gave me a time of 12:45 p.m. So I have a little bit of time to kill, so I figured I would do a slight walk down the road to show where A Christmas Story house is located in the Tremont neighborhood. You can see downtown Cleveland in the background from here. At least the Terminal Tower, Key Tower, and BP building, and a few other ones behind the trees. This is actually one of the bike paths. It's relatively new. It used to be a big plain asphalt area, but the trail goes all the way down there. You can see it loops back around beyond that bridge. We've got the industrial area of Cleveland going strong. Toward that direction, if you kept going not too far from here, would be Steelyard Commons shopping area. So if you're familiar with that, that's where we're near. This is near, this spot here is right at West 11th and Clark Street. Clark Avenue, rather. You can see this used to be, as it says there, the Clark Field Wetlands. So I'm hoping to get some nice shots of the Christmas Story house. This is the first time I've ever been here. They do tours that are in groups, so I don't think I can do like an up-close video of everything and narrate on my own. And I might have to splice things together because if there's people in front of me, it'll be awkward just to stand there and be showing their back. But hopefully I can get enough spliced clips together of the gift shop, the Christmas Story house, and the museum. You can see here. Does that sign show it? Yep, behind me. Let me turn it back around. A Christmas Story house and museum. So it's on West 11th Street. And we will walk down this direction. Because we're near Christmas time, I'm sure it's way more crowded than it typically would be throughout the year. Occasionally they'll have some special guest appearances. I know one of my buddies went here about a week ago and said that the actor who played the bully in the film was making a guest appearance. So my friend just actually stopped by to say hello to him. Not sure if he got his autograph or whatever, but I took a picture with him, and he didn't do the actual tour. The ticket for adults is about $15. I think the total ended up being like $16.50. This Raleigh Inn seemed like it was booming, so a great place to have a bar, especially on a cold weather day. If people they have to wait an hour or so in order to be admitted, you're gonna go inside there for warmth or something to eat or drink. They have some free parking lots people can park in. This one here is A Christmas Story Bumpus house. Registered guest only. That might be where people can stay overnight. I don't know. Let's get a view from across the street. This place here, which they're supposed to take us to after the house, is A Christmas Story house museum. So they should have maybe some stuff from the actual movie itself in there. I didn't realize the scope extended beyond the house and the gift shop.
Stand over there, you can
Yeah, see? That's the actual house itself. If you watch the film from 1983, the Parkers, Ralphie Parker. And of course they have the giant bunny costume that Ralphie got on Christmas. Can you see the leg lamp in the window? Now the film itself took place in Indiana. That's where the location was supposed to be, on Cleveland Street. I guess the person who created the film, that's where they grew up. Their street was actually called Cleveland Street in Indiana. But then when they were looking for filming locations, one of the big deciding factors for filming part of it in Cleveland was they were looking for places, big department stores that would be willing to have them film, and the Higbee's downtown was one of the ones that was scouted and, took the deal. So they had several scenes at the Higbee's downtown, and then they shot exterior and some interior shots at this house. And then this house, I believe in 2000, maybe getting the year wrong, I want to say 2004, but I'll have to look that up again. I believe that's the year this was like renovated and turned into a museum. So it's great for people of Cleveland to come and visit, or if out-of-towners are coming, good for them to check out as well. So while we're waiting for 12:45 to come, we're going to do a little walk inside the gift shop. Check out some of the merchandise on display in here. You can get your own 20-inch leg lamp replicas. For $59.99. It's like a replica of the school scene. Okay, and then the flagpole. There's your giant slippers. That's where I went and purchased my ticket. Fragile. So I must have got here at the right time when I bought my ticket earlier, because I walked right up to the line. It was like the third one to buy a ticket. Now the line extends quite further out. But now I'm going to stop the video, probably take a picture or two inside here, and then go outside and get ready for the tour to start. Uh-oh, bad news. The Grinch has just showed up, riding a motorcycle, no less. The 12:15 group just went in the house, so I've got another half hour.
Where's the camera? Hi, Scott. Say hi, Daddy. Say hi, Daddy. Hey, Maddox, turn around.
Part of the line out. Yeah, I think they get that from the pop out through there. Don't say anything.
I gotta take pictures. I don't have. I'm going to my car. I gotta take pictures.
You got another point.
Yeah, I know. I should have put the ballot from in. It had to be much stronger.
We come out, I should try to get if there's nobody.
Oh, just the bottom part. Yeah, I don't know, I'm making fun of it. Oh, my tongue up there. Right up there like humping it or something. Get with the rest of the good pictures I got over the years. Usually it's my daughter. My daughter takes somebody else takes off.
Oops, sorry.
Not good? No, can't let you in.
Do make lots of room as we do have a sold out group. Tickets. If you want to run the back to your car. Yeah.
She's gonna go with you. I know. It's like, can Melinda come first? Here's Sophie.
I'll let you guys back in. Just again, we can't run that risk. Alright. Ashley. And ladies, when you come back in, just not gonna go really loud. Thank you. Alright. Alright guys, so you made it. So welcome to the Christmas Story House, and you're happy spending your first week of the Christmas holidays here at, of course, the most famous house in all of Cleveland streets. So if this is your return back here, welcome back. Or if this is your first time here, well, what took you so long? So there are two parts to the house tour here. The first part is going to be about the history of the house in the movie. And the second part, you will have a full opportunity to explore this house and reenact your favorite scenes like you see in the movie. Now, I'm also a bit of a trivia buff, so if you're highly competitive amongst yourselves, pick the perfect place to showcase your Christmas Story trivia. So first question I got for you guys. How old do you think this house might be?
100 years old.
Okay, it is in the 100 years, so give me that. Anybody else?
80.
80. All right, anybody else?
140.
140.
115.
115. You already had a guess. All right, so this house is 126 years old. So welcome back. Alright. So this house was built in 1895 to accommodate the growing steel industry that was starting up in Cleveland. Originally, it was meant to serve as a split duplex for multiple families to live here, but as time went on, it was mainly used as a single-family household. Now, there are two gentlemen behind this movie. The first is Gene Shepard. He was known as a radio broadcaster and a short story novelist, with his most popular work being in God We Trust, so All Others Pay Cash. And the other is director Bob Clark. While he was mostly known for B-rated horror films like Black Christmas and Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, which I'm not kidding, those are real movie titles, he did explore other genres throughout his directing career, one of which the way more mature audience might know of is a movie called Porky's, which I've been told hidden miss about. So one night out in Miami, on his way to pick up a date, Bob turned on the radio and he heard Gene Shepard talking about how Flick got his tongue stuck to a telephone pole. He was inspired by that story, they thought he could turn it into a movie, and that he did. So him and Gene got together, they assembled a film crew. These were the beginning steps to creating a Christmas story. Now they primarily wanted to set the scene in a Midwestern environment since Gene did grow up in Hammond, Indiana, so they looked in the Rust Belt area. They also wanted to find a department store that would be willing to accommodate their Christmas decorations past December and build that 30-foot Santa Mountain that you see in the movie. Well, out of those department stores that they did reach out to, only one responded back, and it was Higbee's Cleveland. It's about a 5 to 10 minute drive going from here to downtown Public Square. You might have to avoid all those tailgaters too. And if you're feeling adventurous, lucky you are over the age of 21, it is now the home of Jack Cleveland Casino, if you're into that stuff. Once they came to the city for the first time, they realized they could do bulk of the filming in downtown as well, for the opening toilet space at Higbee's and the Christmas parade scene that takes place on Ontario Street. They also noticed the smoke that was coming from high above, and that was coming from our steel yards in the distance. So they did what most people who don't bother to read a map would do, and that was to follow the smoke. And of course they got lost. Instead of ending up on Clark Avenue that does go down to the steel yards, they instead ended up at the T intersection here at Raleigh in West Lawn Street, and by accident, they found this house. They really wanted to use the property in particular to kind of resemble the childhood home of Gene Shepard, and it looked like it was built in the 40s, which is perfect because that's when the movie takes place in. They knocked on the door, hoping somebody was home. Well, unfortunately, there was nobody home, but luckily there was a blessing in the area, because right across the street was the Raleigh Inn, our local neighborhood bar, and funny enough, they ended up actually finding the owner over there. So they asked him if he'd be willing to accommodate his house for a Christmas story, and he said no. He was not a fan of the Hollywood types, and was a little worried, where am I supposed to live at? Well, they got creative. They bought him some drinks, some more drinks, and wrote him a check for $20,000, and that is how we were able to get him to say yes. And we got this house. So it was only to rent out, we didn't own it yet. Once they came inside to the Christmas story house, they realized there's a little bit of a problem. What do you guys think the problem is with the inside of this house?
Space for the cameras.
Space and small is, of course, yeah, the correct answers. And yeah, if you knew how big those cameras were back in the 80s, yeah. So only 15% of the actual movie was filmed in here, and the rest of it was on a soundstage studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Well, you can tell if it was either up in Toronto or Cleveland. If you can see past the windows onto Cleveland Street, the front and backyard, that was filmed here. The rest of the movie, if the windows were whited out, blacked out, or there are no windows in the housing scenes, they were filmed up north in the studio. But there were memorable scenes that were done in here, like Randy putting on a snowsuit and he can't put his arms down, and the fragile crate that was delivered here was the reason our crate reads his end up, is because they measured the door frames wrong. And the crate was too big to fit through, so they had to chop part of it off. One of them, the missing T, henceforth we got his end up. Now, also a portion of the kitchen was used with Ralphie saving his family from Black Bart and the Bumpus Hounds destroying the turkey, which they were played by trained Cleveland police dogs. Now, the last thing to make your movie amazing is you need actors. Right behind me we have the Parkers. From left to right is Ian Petrola as Randy, Peter Lindsay as Ralphie, Jeremy Gavin as the old man, and Melinda Dillon as Mrs. Parker. Out of those 4 actors listed off, one of them was originally not casted at first for this movie. Which one do you believe it might have been?
The dad.
The dad? Alright, anybody else? Alright, so the old man is actually the correct answer. Jeremy Gavin was not originally chosen for this movie. Who do you guys believe we wanted? Think 70s, 80s, or A-listing actors. Okay, family-friendlier options. I'll take Jack Nicholson as the choice. Okay, anybody else? The guy from Stanford and Son? Alright, anybody else?
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman? I wish. If it were up to me, I would have chosen Leslie Nielsen. Yes, because come on. If you have not watched Police Squadron and Naked Gun, you are in for comedy gold. Alright, So, funny enough, somebody did say the correct answer. We did want Jack Nicholson. Because why? For starters, the movie's budget was $3.25 million, and Nicholson kind of wanted all the money for him. And 3 years earlier, he had just come off a movie about a family that owns a lovely mountainside hotel that's probably haunted and possessed, called The Shining. So transitioning from Shining to Christmas Story, I don't think would have been a wise choice. So thankfully, somebody did recommend Darren McGavin from his television show called Chuck the Night Stalker. Now, as for the other actors, Ian won his role thanks to his comedic skills with his laugh and what he could do with the plate of mashed potatoes and meatloaf. Peter Billingsley was one of the very first shot actors to audition for the role and won it. And Melinda Dillon didn't need an audition. She was handed the role thanks to her Oscar-nominated performance as a mom in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Now guys, this entire house is all yours to explore. It's interactive for your enjoyment. Here is what we got. If you peek inside the Fragile crate, you can pick up the statue and you can show to your friends and family that you won these rewards. You can also go over to our leg lamp and get a picture of that. You touch it, stroke it, grope it. Just please keep it PG. And men, don't get too comfortable with that light as well. Folks, you can also go underneath the Christmas tree. You can play with the toys play with the toys that we have. You also have full access to go upstairs. You can go into the bedroom and the bathroom. And you can go underneath the kitchen sink just like Randy did. Or you can put the bib on and show mommy how easy. I'll give you guys about 10 to 15 minutes to explore in here. I'll give you a 5-minute warning to wrap as well. But take it all in and have yourselves a great time in here.
Let's see what we've got in there.
Should have been here yesterday. Mentally prepared to watch it.
Is this the radio where they listen for the Oval team?
I'm not actually touching it. It is very warm.
There's the red rifle. Presents underneath the tree.
Hey Sophie, go by that window. I need a picture of Daddy. Not the bowling ball.
It's a nice touch that they have the bowling ball still. While the kitchen's being looked at, let's peek upstairs. Here's the bar of soaps that Ralphie had to put in his mouth. Do not use toilets strictly for display purposes. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Oh, this? It's a DJI Pocket 2. It's a small camera.
Take good pictures.
Yeah, good pictures. Video's really good too.
I thought the old man was the best.
You want a picture of the box?
I got one downstairs.
Oh.
He's at the desk. Well, Bill Elliott, yeah. That's who played Red Ryder.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. The
Oh,
comic strip
there's
also.
this Red Rider again. His graded paper. P.S. You'll shoot your eye out. C+. What I want is a Red Ryder BB gun with a compass in the stock.
I would imagine they sell a lot of them. Oh, yeah.
Let's see if we can spot the kitchen this time.
And also, just let you guys know, you can also pick up.
Alright, now we're in the kitchen.
My girls went up under there. We took photos of them under the seats.
This is my best friend about your sweater. She said, the nighttime morning. Like I saw like some of the videos, and obviously you can't see them anymore. It's like money at first, it's just like with a lot that was going on last year. It's like obviously we couldn't have that mindset. And
No, you're good. I ended up having
Oh, that's our excuse me.
all their videos.
That wild the way the gas turns on.
we'll be going to the backyard as a group together.
Oh, okay.
Now we're in the backyard. We're at the Christmas Story house. And then the map of where the other things are. And then after this, we're going to be going over to the museum.
Alright guys, welcome to the literally shooting his eye out. Now, unlike the house that is smaller on the inside, the backyard is a lot bigger on the outside. We extended our garden a little bit, adding in more plants and trees, to make this place pretty. And there also used to be a house next door to us, but it no longer stands. So we were able to extend our garden further out onto Cleveland Street and seasonally make room for our giant inflatable Ralphie bunny, which is terrifying to look at night. Now, unlike the pretty nice Cleveland weather that we've got going on, which is extremely rare, especially that right now, we should be getting some snow. But a funny thing happened during the filming months of January to March of '83. We didn't get a single drop of snow for production. So we had to create fake snow. We had firefighter foam, soap suds. What do you guys think the snowflakes were? I'll give you clues found in your kitchen. Something you eat. What do you guys say? Corn?
Eat it.
You said corn?
He didn't say anything.
Okay. Somebody did say the correct answer. It is mashed potatoes. More specifically, instant mashed potato flakes. So what we did was you had a guy up on the rooftop pull those chunks through the pan, and that's when we create that visually appealing effect in the movie. So at the very last scene of Christmas Story, where you see the parents looking out on Christmas night, and you see that snowfall going in. Oh, that's the mashed potato snow that you're looking at there. So we got tricky, guys. So I gave you guys about a few minutes just to explore around in here. We have the steel yards in the distance, and we have our shed that you can step inside there. And nothing much, but still a great piece of movie history. So please make sure to stay together as a group, and then when it's all set, we're gonna head over to the museum.
Yeah, it's been a fun tour so far. Just gonna get a look at the backside of the Christmas Story bunny. So I don't know if you could hear on the video, but they said that there used to be a house over here, but it's no longer here, so they acquired the property, extended the garden out, put the big bunny up, and they also, from the original movie, extended the backyard out further toward the steel yards. And he was also saying that the effect of the snow that you see in the movie, there wasn't one drop of snow that actually took place during filming. So what they had to do was use instant mashed potatoes, and we're just like basically dumping them from the roof to create that visual effect of the snow. Yeah, so after this, we're going to go over to the museum now. We're in the museum now. You can see the museum poster of the movie. Some various artwork that's been made.
A few weeks ago, we had Zach Ward here. With Scott Farkas, he did meet and greets, signed autographs, raised money for Alzheimer's.
Why is this?
This is not the original leg lamp, but just one of the replicas. All the stuff on this wall is fan art. This room looks to be an homage to Higbee's.
Slide.
Local guy is casting the part of the crazy living man.
And just like you're walking into the movie, all that and more with the cast of Christmas Story. Where are they now? Return. That's funny.
So that shows it because how it came out.
Vintage toys from the Higbee's window displays.
Because that was the first one.
Yes.
Oh, it must be 80s, 1980s right there. The tops. Are those two?
Finished with the museum tour, but now we've got two vehicles out here. 1934 Ford fire truck that came when not Ralphie, but his buddy Flick was glued to the flagpole at the school, which they told us inside that a little bit of trivia, that was actually like a plastic pipe or whatever that they painted and made to look like that. And I think this is the old man's car. And then Elf, another bit of funny trivia, or interesting trivia they told us on the way out, was that the one actor who hasn't been back to see this museum and house is Peter Billingsley, the guy who played Ralphie. He's got a busy schedule, and he noted that the actor played a cameo in the movie Elf. Kind of a cameo. He had a brief appearance. Yeah, thanks for everyone tuning in to the Christmas Story house tour. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't been here before, be sure to check it out and visit Cleveland sometime in the future. Temperature is getting much warmer. Feels like it's in the 40s now. So great for the month of December. Have a happy holidays and see you next time. If you enjoyed this video again, please leave a like or hit the subscribe button. Any subscription always helps us grow the channel. And hoping to do one more video for the holiday season in Cleveland. And Tuesday night, I'm hoping to showcase the whole downtown Cleveland area during the evening. So hopefully I can hit the Festival of Trees, a little walk down Euclid, some decorations that I've seen, and then Public Square and the Terminal Tower tree. Yeah, thanks again for watching, and see you next time.